previously, it was said to be power to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity in areas not covered by the national grid. You understand? So that restriction was removed in that constitutional amendment. And the constitutional amendment was followed by the Electricity Act of 2023, which now sets as it were, the roadmap for achieving devolution. It says that when a state makes its law, it should inform NEC, it should inform all the powers that be, the National Council on Privatization, and so on and so forth, BPE. And when they do that, NEC will make an order within 45 days requiring the DISCO in that state to incorporate a subsidiary and to do a number of things, including delineate its assets and liabilities, staff, and so on and so forth, metering arrangements. All of those were detailed. So that is where the journey starts. And like I told you, Section 230 says that when a state transits from that arrangement, NEC should have no further regulatory control over that state. So when we came on board, we were inaugurated, from January 2024. We took that charge seriously, that if NEC is not going to have further regulatory responsibility for the state, then we need to do something quickly. And that's why we got our hands wet. We made one of those regulations that I mentioned to you, the tariff methodology regulations. So the issue of tariff is central to the work of a regulator. And that's what we have done. And we have said that the tariff we have issued to Manpower adequately provides or covers whatever obligation. So there is nothing like distorting the market. Because what the market is doing now is that the DISCO gets an invoice. And that invoice, there's a discounted price for power in that invoice because of a subsidy arrangement. I know that subsidy is an emotive word in Nigeria, but it is what it is. That has been existing, and the idea is to cushion the effect of tariff on cost. It's a great idea. And so what we did is recognizing that Manpower does not have a power purchase agreement with NBET. NBET is the bulk buyer of electricity, the bulk trader. It doesn't have a direct relationship with NBET. It doesn't have a direct relationship with the upstream sectors of it's only a subsidiary of the DISCO. So that share that he gets from EEDC is what we are talking about. So that share is what they do. I mean, we've been around for November, December, January, February, March, April. How do they pay their invoice? I believe what they do is that what they collect in Enugu plus what they collect in other places is what they now put together to settle the invoice for the bulk trader. And that is what we have preserved. You don't have an independent, even though you are independent in law as a limited liability company, but you don't have an account. All the monies that are collected in Enugu are put in the same principal collection account of EEDC. So how do you begin to make that separation? Say, okay, you pay the full cost of national generation. So if you pay it, who receives it? Because at the end of the day, the invoice that EEDC will receive for all the 5 states will be under the DISCO remittance obligation that accounts for about 40-something% of the generation cost. So that is what will happen. So that money might not even, it will not, under the way it is set up now, it will not get to NBET. So there are 2 questions. Why should that happen? Why should the people in Enugu pay that amount and then it stays within EEDC? It doesn't even get to the generators. And 2, by taking lawful steps that are allowed under the Constitution and the Electricity Act, why should Enugu be treated as a breakaway republic? Are you getting my point? We are part of the country. It's not supposed to be a blackmail issue that once you leave the nationally regulated market, you lose all benefits that accrue under the existing power arrangement. It looks like a blackmail that if you go, you lose that. But if you stay under NEC, if you don't do anything, then you are covered. Is that right? It can't be. So we have not disrupted the system. The same money that the generators are collecting is what we have preserved. Yeah.